Hey guys, what's up? It's Article. Welcome to my channel where I do art, student, and lifestyle videos. If you're interested in any of that, head down below and subscribe. I hope you're having an amazing day, and let's get into it. Okay, so to actually, sorry about that. To actually begin this is going to be my first video in the series that I decided to do, reviewing books while doing my makeup. I'm not going to be, because this is the first video, I'm just going to give a few disclaimer points which will never appear again. So I am not going to be talking about my process of doing my makeup. I'm not going to be talking about the products that I use. This is not a review of the makeup products going on my face. This is a review of the book purely. Anything that I will use will be linked down below, and the reason I've already started doing my makeup is because today's a slightly complicated look that I want to do. If I look down here, it's because my mirror is down there and I don't have my handheld mirror yet, and that is back home, and I will bring it back with me now that I want to actually do this series. So today the look that I'm doing is actually, it has a purpose. It is June, it is Pride Month, and so I'm actually heading to a Pride party tonight. So that is the purpose of my makeup look today. And like I said, because it's Pride Month, the first book that I wanted to talk about, I wanted it to be very gay. And so yeah, this is, well, technically it's not really a book. It is a comic series that I recently read, that recently everybody has been loving on, and that is because I'm going to be talking about Heartstopper today, the whole series, not just the first. And I haven't actually watched the show, so please don't give me spoilers down below. I've heard amazing things, I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Now, I'm going to be talking about the first 3 volumes, not all 4, which are the ones that are out. And the simple reason for that is the 4th volume has a little bit of triggering content, which, like, it triggered me a little bit as well. So if you guys like my review or like the first 3, I would recommend you check it out, the 4th one. It is well done and it's like really good, but I just didn't want to talk about it in this video because that's not the content that I wanted to cover, and also I didn't know how to talk about it in a sensitive enough way. I think that's fair on my part. In terms of what I talk about, I can just decide to talk about the first 3. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to be talking about Heartstopper today, and Heartstopper did steal my heart. So this is going to be a slightly biased review in that sense, in the sense of I actually love the book and I think it's very, very well done. But of course there are things that I didn't like about it, as you do. Even pieces of literature that I love, I don't love unconditionally, you know what I mean? It's not a thing for me. Why is this leaking? It is not something that I do. I'm not that kind of a reader where I just don't see the flaws of something. I do see the flaws and I acknowledge them, but overall the disclaimer is that I do really love this book, and so it is gonna be a little bit biased in what I say. So I actually read this series a while back. So another thing that I would like to apologize for today is the fact that any kinks that I have in this video, because this is the first time that I'm doing it, and you know, like with every new thing, you do get better with practice. Now, there will be times in this video where I cannot speak, and the reason is because I'm doing the rainbow under eye trend that's been going around, and I wanted to do that because I'm going to a pride party, but my under eyes are quite creased, so usually when I'm working on my eye, I like to stretch my face down and work on it, and that's what just happened with the concealer. That's why I couldn't talk while I was doing my concealer. And like I said, I am really sorry for that. What the hell? I just started and it's already not. So yeah, so now to actually begin talking about the books. So I actually love the drawing style of the books. I think it is very well drawn, and I love the black and white of it. I think it looks amazing, and I think also it adds depth to the story where there wasn't any, where it would have just been like a regular comic book otherwise. But I really like the drawing style, and I really like the black and white nature of it. Also the fact that it's a gay story. I love that the author did a black and white thing just to kind of emphasize that difference, I guess you could say. I don't really know what to call it, but to emphasize that difference in okay, you guys can't see what I'm doing, can you? So I liked that the author did that. Another thing that I liked is the way the characters interact with each other. They're all teenagers, they're all 16, 17, and they're all like still, you know, kind of in the middle of puberty, but not really, and they're kind of coming into their romantic selves. And I think it's really cute that the author captured the essence of that. I think I'm turning 21 this year, so I haven't been out of my teens for that long, but I do know what it's like to interact with your significant other for the first time, because I did have my first partner when I was a teenager. So I really like the way the characters interact. It's not even just the main couple, it's also the friends and the parents as well, because you know how your parents always, when you're a teenager, tell you, oh, did you think I just grew up like this? Like I was a teenager once as well, and like for me it's like, yes, I understand that, but you aren't a teenager right now, so you don't actually know what I'm going through. And you aren't a teenager in my particular circumstance, in the sense of like, you're not gay, you know what I mean? And I like the way that the author portrayed that in the book. Like I really liked the interactions that the characters had. I think that was adorable. Now I'm just gonna go through book by book rather than pointing out, but these were like the general disclaimers at the books, things that I liked that were cute. Now at the beginning of the story, I don't know if you guys watched the Heartstopper TV show. I don't know if it has this, because I think it's PG, so I don't think they can really show this. But at the very start of the comic books, and by the way guys, this is going to be full of spoilers, so do not watch this if you don't want spoilers for this book. But I will keep it as vague as I possibly can, so that if you do actually want to go in and read it, you have that opportunity. I'm not taking that away from you. So at the very beginning of the book, Charlie was actually SA'd by his sort of ex, and I mean it was like sort of addressed later in the books as well when he talks to Nick about it. But yeah, so it was sort of addressed, but it wasn't really, and I really did not like that. I think that kind of pushed the stereotype, in the sense of, you know, a character not feeling comfortable enough to tell someone. And yeah, that's very realistic in the sense of like, most people in life, when they're SA'd in any form, no matter how mild or how, you know, severe, they go through these thing of like, I don't want to tell anyone, this is shameful, whatever. That's, yeah, I get it, that's very realistic and fun. Like it's not something that I've experienced, so that's not something I can comment on. But I think maybe if, you know, later Nick had convinced him to go talk to someone, or to do something about it. You know, just be more than just like just be there, you know what I mean? Like maybe he could have done more than just be there. Sorry, maybe he could have done more than just kind of be there and exist as Charlie's support system, which it is very, very important to be the support system for someone who has gone through that. But again, like I said, it's, you know, it kind of pushes this stereotype, this harmful narrative of you'll be okay if you don't talk about it, which like is not really all that true, because that kind of trauma haunts people forever and ever, and they do need to talk about it, and it does need to be addressed by other people. It needs to be addressed more, in my opinion. So I kind of didn't like that it was glossed over like that. Not saying that it was completely glossed over, because, you know, Nick saves him and then he does talk to Nick about it as a friend. But like I said, I don't think that's like enough, you know? What I'm so ineloquently trying to say here is that while I like that Nick was Charlie's support system, it also leaves Ben as a character to go ahead and do that to someone else or take advantage of someone else. And Charlie could have done maybe something a little bit more once he was feeling better about himself. And that's not to say that Charlie has to be like a martyr or something. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to be like, oh, Charlie needs to be the first to come forward, sort of like, you know, inspire everyone and all that. No, that's not what he needs to do. He just needs to sort of speak up and maybe have consequences come onto someone who did that to him, just so that, you know, people know that maybe this is not a good person or whatever. Like, I understand that Charlie was bullied and maybe people wouldn't believe him, but the teachers did. And in the books, in Heartstopper, everyone likes Charlie after the whole bullying thing had blown over the year before. And so, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I think there needed to be more done for Charlie in that scenario. And, you know, maybe Nick could have helped him and helped him tell people, you know, you know, if Charlie was to say, oh, no one's going to believe me because it's like the popular guy who has a girlfriend, maybe Nick could have helped and corroborated his story and said, oh, no, I was there and, you know, I saw it happen. I pulled him off Charlie and that's how it happened. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, yeah, I just feel like there could be more done. There could have been more could have been done for Charlie in that situation than actually was done. Another thing that the author captured really well, one other thing that Alice Osman captured really well was the teenage boy phenomenon of changing around people. You know, I honestly, actually, I can't believe, I can't remember which part of the book I'm talking about right now. I'm sure it's there throughout the book. And I think I'm talking about Nick, where he actually, no, okay, I do remember. He addresses this with Charlie and he tells Charlie, he's like, hey, so, you know, I don't feel like myself around my friends, you know, I changed, I'm not, you know, I feel most myself around you and I'm different with them and I don't mean to be, but I am and I don't know why, you know, I'm just not comfortable being myself around them. Which is, it's valid, of course, it is. But she captured that really well in the sense of it is a teenage boy thing. I've seen it happen even with my friends where they will be something around me and then they will be completely different when you put them in a scenario with, you know, where they're talking to other boys. I don't know why. It's just what it is. Like the sweetest guy will turn into like a complete asshole when he's with someone else, you know. Maybe they don't feel comfortable being themselves. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I think actually the author did a really good job sort of capturing that phenomenon. And why does my iPad keep going off and I have to keep tapping it, like keep unlocking it? So annoying. And then another thing that I really loved was Nick's self-discovery of being bi, how he figures it out. Google. It's so realistic. That's what I did. Like literally I was like, oh, I felt romantic things for this girl, and I was like, oh my god, I'm feeling things that I'm not supposed to for a girl. Let me just look up Google about it, you know? And of course it's not a thing where like I didn't know what being gay was. But at the same time, when it happens to you, you're just stuck with this, it can't be me. I can't be gay. It's not me. You know, but I feel like the author captured that really well, really realistically. I loved that. I was like, yes, this is what I did. I went to BuzzFeed, I went to Google, and this is what I did, and I relate. And I've talked to so many of my friends where they say, yeah, we relate too, and that's what we did as well. And it was just like an eye-opening thing where I was like, oh, I'm not alone, you know what I mean? And yeah. So I actually loved when that part happened in the comics. Then both Nick and Charlie had very realistic friend groups, in the sense of I liked Nick was one of the rugby boys, which I'm guessing for any other schools means like a jock, but for me, in my school, it just meant essentially all the boys. The reason it meant all the boys for my school was because we had very few people in class. Our class sizes were really small, and so there weren't that many boys to begin with. So all the boys would just band together in this one group. So I'm guessing, you know, for other boys and other schools, it means sort of the jocks of the school, which is what it was in this scenario as well. It's just not what it was for me back when I was in high school. But yeah. He had very realistic friends, even with the three friends who do support him. I can't remember their names for the life of me. Even when they kept recurring in the books, I was like, what was their name again? But anyway, you know, his three friends who then eventually support him and say, oh, we're not like him, you know, we'll support you. And, you know, they're just like, can we talk about how Nick definitely likes Charlie? It's very realistic because your friends know before you do. It is a thing. They know you better and your friends know before you do in a realistic scenario. You know what I mean? Don't worry if it looks like it's too much. I'm going to blend it down and it's not done yet, you know? Trust the process. Anyway, so they had very realistic friends, and I also liked that Charlie's entire friend group was gay. That is also exceedingly realistic, and I'll tell you why. When I was in school, we attract each other, okay? Especially in homophobic environments, we attract each other. Anyway, so very, very realistic friend group, I believe. I think that was really well done. And, you know, Nick, for the longest time, believed he was straight, and so his friends were straight. And, you know, when he met a group of gays that were Charlie's friends at Charlie's birthday at the bowling alley, you know, he clicked with them immediately because he was not straight either, which is fun. And yes, this was after him and Charlie were actually already together, which is it was so cute, honestly, so cute. I also love how overprotective Tao is of Charlie, and, you know, because of the bullying that Charlie went through, and Tao is just like, I was the only one there for you. Again, same like bowling scene, you know, he's just like, oh, he takes Charlie aside and he's like, I know you like him, but, you know, are you sure he's not just playing you? Is that like, are you certain? Are you protecting yourself? Are you being safe? I'm just worried about you. I think that was so cute. That was so cute. I have had my friends take me aside and say, are you sure you like her? Do you want to like her? She's gonna break your heart. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's okay. Next, this is unanimously, like, you have to agree with me. The PE teacher who teaches them rugby, she is the best character that exists in the book. And, you know, I realize as I'm talking about this is not really a review. This is just me gushing about the book and talking about the things that I loved and maybe the things that I didn't like, honestly, but most of it is what I loved. And yeah, so the PE teacher is the best character And the reason, but I hope I'm being adequate in my reasoning for what I'm saying. I feel like this is not how you write a review, but I'm not writing one and you guys are here for me. Anyway, and so this is how I'm doing it right now. Anyway, so you know how she's gay too. She tells Nick, she's like, don't hurt him. You know, she takes Nick aside and she's like, don't hurt Charlie, even though Charlie hasn't been in the team for long. And you would think that she would be more protective of Nick because he's been in the team for longer. But she's just like, you know, like, don't hurt Charlie. I hope you don't hurt Charlie. He went through a lot last year when he got bullied. And Nick was like, I know I'm not gonna hurt him. I'm trying not to, or whatever. And I think that was super cool. I think that was like fun. And then I also like the way there's a party, and I liked the way in the party, during the party, Charlie dealt with Ben. I liked the way he was like, you know what, fuck off. And I think that was amazing. I think that was really well done. And, you know, it was unrealistic because victims of SA don't just kind of suddenly have the courage to deal with it, even if they, you know, like, I understand that the whole narrative is that now he's with Ben, so he has, sorry, not Ben, right? Not Ben. Now he's with Nick. The Ben is the assaulter, sorry. Now he's with Nick, and, you know, that gives him the strength to confront his demons or whatever. But that is not realistic at all. But I liked the way he did it just because it felt nice, you know? It felt good that he gave Ben what he deserved. And, you know, Ben got what was coming to him. And that party was not the nicest scene just because of what happened between Nick and Charlie. But I loved the way that Ben was dealt with. Like I said, I did love how protecting, this is going back a little bit, but I did love how protective Tao was over Charlie. But I did also feel to me like he was a bit overbearing. And like I said, I understand why. It was just like, if my friend did that to me, I'd just get annoyed, honestly. Yeah, he was just a bit overbearing sometimes. I also love how Nick acknowledges that, you know, Charlie is out to everyone, and him and Nick not being comfortable coming out to people might actually be holding Charlie back. We don't actually get that a lot in real life. It does lead to situations like maybe Happiest Season. I don't know if you guys seen that, the gay Kristen Stewart movie. It was amazing. But it leads to situations like that where suddenly you've been in a relationship for a few years. She's definitely gay, but she's not out to anyone. And you have to hide how you are, even though you've been out since you were 14. You know? And that's just, it's honestly not worth the heartbreak, in my opinion. This might be controversial, but like I said, I don't personally believe that it is actually worth all the heartbreak that it can put you through. So, but I do like how Nick acknowledges that, and he says, I understand if you don't want to be with me, or, you know, and I would understand if you hated me because you like me, but I'm not out and I'm holding you back in being out. And, you know, not a lot of people do that. Not characters, not people in real life. It's, yeah, I think it was amazing emotional maturity on Nick's part. I also like that Nick came out to Tara first, because again, like I said, it's very, very realistic and reminiscent to real life. You would only come out to someone who you know is accepting of it and, you know, good with it, and, you know, you can kind of say that, yes, this is a safe space. I think a lot of people can't actually say that, and I hate that that's I know it's not blended, okay? I hate that that's a fact of society that fact of the society that we live in. It breaks my heart sometimes to have that, you know, have that be a thing. This is the same issue that I also had with Love, Simon, or Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, whatever you want to call it. That when Nick and when Simon in that came out to their family, they were instantly accepting. And the reason I say that is because even if you have a very accepting and open family, like I love my parents, they're relatively open and accepting of who I am and what I want to do with my life. Even, you know, the most amazing parents are going to take a second to come around to the idea of their child not being straight or their child not being gay, you know? Sorry, their child being gay. And it's harsh, but it is the world that we live in, because it is not the norm to be not straight or, you know, not cisgendered or whatever. So, or like a part of the LGBTQ community. So like, yeah, like I said, even the most accepting of parents have their issues with it. And they don't mean to, but they do. And that's like, it hurts even when you come out to, like I said, the most accepting parents. They take a second to come to terms with it. And, you know, instantly in Love, Simon says the Homo sapiens agenda, the parents and Simon's parents and his sister are instantly accepting. Nick's mum is instantly accepting. She's like, oh, thank you for telling me. That's not how it works. It's not ideal or realistic. So I feel like that's something that I wish the author had changed, given a little bit of a perspective on, you know, the parent side. But they say, you know, they do say that, yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, you don't want to show a bad coming out scene, right? Because that would just scare young gays back into the closet if they see that in media. But you also want to be realistic in the sense of, you know, you can have the mom say, okay, I didn't expect this, so I'm gonna need a little bit of time to come around to it, but you know, I hope you're okay, and I'm glad you were comfortable enough to tell me. There should be this element of, I accept you, but it's gonna take me a little bit of time to wrap around it, because clearly the mom is not gay, because she had 2 sons. I mean, she could be still, but they've not shown her to be anything but straight in the books. And so, like I said, it's not ideal or realistic, because, like I said, it's not, you know, all of us go into coming out thinking, oh, my parents are the best. They're going to be accepting and amazing about it. I did. And my parents took a little bit of time to wrap their heads around it. They weren't mad, they weren't rude, they weren't not accepting at first, but they took a bit of time to come around to the idea of me being bi. And Aled, Charlie's friend Aled, by the way, guys, I don't think I'm gonna finish this look by the time I finish this review. So I'm just gonna try and finish the eye look, and then, you know, come back to sort of finish it and then come back. The pigment is not as saturated as I would like, so I'm just gonna go fix that and go read it, give it a read, especially for Pride Month. I think it's homophobic if you don't. Go read it, it's really good. And yeah, so this was my first review. This is the makeup look. I actually don't know if I'm gonna wear this to the party. I do like the look. I think it looks amazing. I'll definitely post it to Instagram, but I'm gonna go ask my friend's opinion on whether she thinks it's too much for the party, or if there was a way I could tone it down or something. I don't know, we'll see, but I think it looks cute. But yeah, maybe it's too much for outside of my room. She also does need to help me pick out my outfit. I may be cutting it a bit close with this video. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Heartstopper. All the makeups that I use, all all the makeup products that I used will be linked down below, so go check it out if you want to get any of what I did and achieve the same look. And if you're confident enough to wear it outside, that's amazing, do that. If you want, tag me in your pictures, go follow me and tag me in your pictures, and I would love to see it. And let me know if you guys did read Heartstopper and what you thought about it, and any other gay book recommendations that you think I should check out. So yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, head down below and subscribe and leave a like on the video. Let me know, like I said, let me know all your thoughts. Let me know what you thought of the video as well, like what you thought of this format, if I should continue, if you know, if I should continue, but there are things that should change, if you loved it just the way it was, if you liked my review, if you haven't read the books and you're gonna go check them out because of this review, that would be amazing. So yeah, and leave a like on the video. It does help out in terms of, like, if you do like my content, it pushes it tells YouTube that my audience likes what I'm doing, and it then helps promote it to other people. So yeah, and bye.